Hey guys, what's up? PizzaLovingNerd here. Welcome to another Gimp tutorial. Let's just get right into it. We're doing clone tools and retouching. So basically, these allow you to do things like remove acne. So let's start with the clone tool. Basically, you hold control somewhere and then you paint over it, and it takes that source area and moves that source area over to where you're painting. So out of the box right here, it's good for making small changes. If you select some skin, for example, right next to what you want to modify, and then you can modify it by painting over it, and it will take your source, select your source brush, and paint that in. Now you can also clone stuff from other images. So let's say I have the space image, I can hold control on the space image, and now if I start painting in Minecraft, it's going to basically paint in everything from the space image. Now there are boundaries, so if I reach the boundaries of the image, now it is going to not paint right there, so then I'd have to go to that edge and start over. But yeah, it's a pretty cool tool because I could just click somewhere, control click somewhere on the image, and then I can paint in the space, whatever. So yeah, there is an easier way to do this, such as using layer masks if I wanted to replace the sky in Minecraft. But I'm just using this as an example because this is available as an option if you want to do something like this using the clone tool. So again, let's say I control click right here because I want to duplicate this galaxy thing, whatever it is. So I control click and let's move it down, duplicate it down here. Now I paint this in. Now I'm painting in another galaxy from the top, and I'm painting it down here. So that's what the clone stamp tool is. Now let's say I want to duplicate this pen. So what I'll do is I'll make this brush a little bit bigger here, and now I'll select the top of the pen, and now I can sort of paint this in here. However, this does not look realistic because since it's closer to the camera, that means that this pen kind of looks bigger than this pen. So to fix this, we're going to use the perspective clone tool. So what you do is you select the perspective clone tool, and we're going to modify our perspective. So since this is like a desk kind of pointing a little bit to, like, I don't know, the top right here, we're going to modify our perspective to be like this. So give me a second, I got to modify this perspective. So we're going to make it align to these lines right here. So now we have our perspective right here. So now we have our perspective right here, so now we're just going to select this pen right here, and I'm going to make this brush bigger, but as you can see now, this pen is now bigger and it's angled differently to make it look more realistic, to make it look more like it's actually closer to the camera than this pen is. So yeah, this is basically the go-to tool if you need to duplicate an object, because this looks much more realistic than, let me do this without the clone tool. So here it is without the perspective clone tool. Now this right here looks way more realistic than this right here. So that's the perspective clone tool, a very useful tool. Good to know. So yeah. Now let's go to the heal tool. Now this is equivalent to the retouching tool in Photoshop. It's not as good as the one in Photoshop, but it is still here in Gimp. Now let's say I want to erase this pen. Well, I'll just select a piece of paper like right here, and it sort of uses artificial intelligence in order to use the ink you gave it to figure out what to do with that pen. So it does blur it out for a second, but if I work on this a little bit more, now that pen is completely gone, and it's hard to tell the difference between this and when it was here before. Now again, for the acne thing, if I were to get the clone stamp tool, for example, and I were to select the skin right here and then paint in this, that looks horrible. However, if I go to the whole heal tool and select the skin right here, this still doesn't look good, but it looks much better than with the clone tool. So yeah, now of course if I actually select the clone tool closer to his acne right here, this looks much more realistic now. So now I could spend a little bit of time just retouching his face a little bit. Boom, he's basically acne free now. So this, compared to this, there's a huge difference. So the retouch tool, as you can see, is a very useful tool. So yeah, it's a pretty basic tutorial for those 3 tools, but they are very useful to learn and figure out how to use, so that's why I decided to make these 3 tools their own video. So yeah, hopefully this helped. Thanks for watching. Thank you to patrons Michelle Vantino and Sam Covett. Please consider becoming a patron, and yeah,